Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Star Wars Afterlight Skies, our Edge of the Empire actual play series. I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films, and the Destiny Pool Monkey. And I now turn it over to our game master for the evening, Erin.
Hi, everybody. I'm Erin, and I am the GM for Edge of the Empire game, Afterlight Skies, and back to John for character introductions.
I'm playing Sensaku, the Achani Seeker and pilot for the group, and I'm going to roll Destiny, and I'm going to get a dark side, which is the only thing that I have rolled for the past, 4 sessions. One dark side.
Consistently since you decided that this was going to determine which force side you were on at any given time, yes.
Yep.
It's kind of funny.
It's a little confusing.
A bit concerning.
Cody.
I am Cody, and I'm playing Praz, the Zabrak Commando. I'm rolling Destiny. I rolled 2 light.
Kat.
I'm Kat. I am playing Powder, the surgical droid with memory issues. Let's see what I get. Ooh, a dark side.
And Jeremy.
Right, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Lux, the Zeltron person thing. Words. There are words.
I think technically spy, but whatever you would like to describe yourself.
Yes, spy, hacker,
I need you to roll 1 dark and 1 light on 1 die.
Yeah, I rolled 1 dark.
Not so much.
I am a bastion of light and good. I'm going to shoot
Now
this
let's see
guy
how that
first.
turns out for you.
Yes.
Speaking of bastions of light and good, I'm going to go into a little more detail with my summary, just because for those watching us live on Twitch and for our players, it has been 2 weeks. So previously, our group was investigating on the behest of Praz's clan, as Praz is the Zabrak, a individual target mark, the exact details of which were unclear. They managed to determine that this individual, named Dorian Ross, was a researcher, track down where his research was, and connect him to someone that they had previously encountered, an individual by the name of Ludico, who was a senator, potentially now running away, fleeing the Empire. They apprehended Dorian, who seemed to have made a ill-thought-out escape attempt, and also decided to take a research assistant who had been helping them out.
You say research assistant, I say meat shield.
Glares.
Reasonable interpretation as well. And as that all did, there's words. After completing that, Praz sent word to his people and was essentially asked to deliver Dorian. So our group set off into space. Interrogating him, some moral questions about the technology he was working on, specifically personal and small craft invisibility tech, came up, and questions about his own essentially refusal to provide that information to others. But with that, you're about an hour, maybe 2 hours out. You have received specific coordinates where you would be asked to land. Obviously, there are many places to land on the planet, but that's where they're asking you to land at this time. It's your decision if you would like to go there.
Is it in the colony?
Yes, it is in your colony. this particular place is somewhere where a lot of diplomats tend to use. It's often regarded as a little posher, a little more secure. It's not exactly next to the market, but...
Okay. This is where the higher-ups like to land. This is the executive parking.
It's where higher-ups might ask you to be in this sort of instance, yes.
Okay. I will let Sen know.
I will park the ship.
All right.
Chauffeur, drive us to this location.
Okay. So, right. As you come in on the planet, this is a reasonably civilized, well put together, well off place compared to some of the places you guys slum around. It's not Coruscant or anything, but it's a traditional and it's a traditional, highly architecturally sound place, more akin to Dantooine than any of the more rugged spaceports that you have frequented. With your landing credentials and Praz's instructions, you managed to land without any issue or delays more than would be common for such a essentially residential planet.
Okay.
You arrive, do you disembark? Do you take anyone with you?
Do I know anything about this planet?
Yes, and you can roll me a knowledge outer rim check to see if you know how much you would know.
Okay. Difficulty of
2.
Okay.
How about
Ooh, not too bad. 3 successes and an advantage.
Okay, with 3 successes and an advantage. Aside from what Praz has previously informed you that this is his home colony, you know a little bit about how these colonies tend to operate. They're mostly in the outer rim. They tend to essentially be affiliated with, almost tribute to might be the wrong word, especially given the tendency towards independence, but connected to the home world of Iridonia. I think I pronounced that right.
yeah.
And additionally, you'd know that the climate here would be safe for most of the biological life forms, including all of those that are currently on the ship.
Cool.
All right, Praz, this is your show. What do you want to do?
I was thinking maybe you guys stay on here with Dorian, and I'll go let them know. That way, I don't know, with what happened on the ship, it seems like I just get the feeling that somebody else is looking for him as well.
All right.
And I'll have them bring back either a transport where he's not shown, or some safer way to get him to where he needs to go than just walking him there.
Cool. We can
Okay.
stand guard.
Understood.
You guys got my job now. I've had to do that I don't know how many times.
I go get my lawn chair
Yeah,
and I go into the cargo bay
it's well worn because I've sat in it.
and just set it up in the cargo bay and kick back.
So yeah, I'll let them know that we're here and where I should meet them.
Glass of water and my blaster on my hip.
Um, um,
Just because I want to kind of know how far away it is.
right. So as you head on out, you actually do notice a few people approaching you. These are individuals that you wouldn't have any trouble recognizing. There's at the head of this small group are two of your clan has many elders. It's a fairly large clan, but there are 4 or so that are significantly important, sort of comprise a pseudo-unofficial inner council.
Yeah.
And the 2 that helm this group are both members of that council. The slightly older one is older male is Raj. He is combat trained, of course, and he has respect for that. But his position is often regarded as primarily political, and a little bit derided for that. And the one next to him is Nikri, who a smaller, slightly younger woman who carries several weapons on her, despite the vast complement of armed guards with them. She is more known for essentially being really good at the fighting. And they're not exactly known for getting along, and as they're walking up, they are quibbling with each other in somewhat hushed tones before they sort of notice that the ship has open doors and passengers, and Nikri sort of gives a salute wave.
I'll salute wave back and head towards them.
Yep.
What was the first guy's name?
Raj. I'm putting both of those in chat because spelling.
Yeah. It's close. Okay.
So, you're the one who managed to find our man.
Yep. Didn't do it alone, but yeah, we found him.
Impressive. Well, I'd certainly like to meet your crew at some point. While you're in the area. Yeah. And I'm sure you and yours have further questions that can be explained in more private circumstances.
Okay. Are you here for him?
At this point, yes. Though who we'd be happy to, who also, you back if you're willing to debrief now, or if you have business to attend to, who first come by. My place. Raj sort of snorts at her. Come by the Capitol building later.
Okay. Well, we came here for this, so we can finish that first.
Great.
And then I can. But I'll start leading them back into the ship towards Dorian.
Sure.
This way.
So a few of the guards stay outside, as does Raj, who mutters something else to Nikri that she seems to brush off. Kevra, she points to one of the guards and makes a beckoning finger as Kevra and 2 others that accompany her head on into a lawn chair where the droid is pampering the sitting down at Johnny.
I mean, pouring water in a glass isn't
Powder just wants to feel useful. And at
Yeah.
the moment, no one is hurt. So this is how they feel useful.
Yep. Leaning back in a lawn chair with a blaster on his lap, just watching as they come in. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, they were already on their way here.
Oh, makes sense.
Right this way.
They just raise the glass to them as they go by.
She gives you a nod and an evaluative look.
Who's the pilot?
Yeah. Huh. Hey. Interesting. Just you and the pilot and the droid then?
Nope. Getting a little apprehensive at that question.
I assume Lux is with Dorian.
Yes. Sorry, yes.
I'm also glad that I wear a cadre of weapons. So suddenly,
I am a cadre of weapons.
yeah.
I have a needle.
Evaluating.
Yeah, I will
What
leave
sort of
them.
armed forces do you have on this ship? No reason.
Right?
So excuse me, I don't know what the fuck is happening outside. I
Sounds
think
like a
It's
truck.
like the circular saw.
It sounds
you know,
like-
on my end, it sounds more like someone decided the TARDIS noise didn't sound malfunctioning enough.
They put both emergency brakes on.
Very well might be what it is. I live in a weird place. So
So I continue.
Praz,
to
you'd know most likely why she's asking is because, well, of course, outsiders are welcome and whatever. With stuff like this, the individual who commissioned it often wants to know who was involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
If she wanted you killed, she could have just blown up your ship.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, but if she blew up
Here,
the ship,
go.
she wouldn't have the ship.
There is that.
Very high opinion of your ship. Okay, moving on.
I mean, a ship's a ship.
So she'll follow you to wherever you guys are currently keeping Dorian.
Yep.
I assume, Lux, you're there at this point?
Yes.
That would be the
Sorry.
lounge.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't have a brig. We should fix that. We should get a new ship.
Yeah. When we can afford one, we will.
Who said anything about affording one? Let's go steal an Imperial ship. I think Lux will be all up for that.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
she's just chilling in the lounge with her alcohol.
So this conversation presumably happened a little while ago while you guys were
On the
away.
trip, like while we were on our way to the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Making plans to steal an Imperial
Back
Star
to-
Destroyer.
back to prisoner time.
Sort of gives a nod and evaluating look to you're not at the moment restrained as I remember it.
No.
Correct.
No, we took the binders off of him.
Gets an
And he sort of gives her this steely look back.
Yeah, I'm giving her just an even, like, very, very level look at the moment.
Are you trying to communicate anything specific in your demeanor from that?
No,
or just-
not she's
Okay.
not trying to communicate anything in particular. She's just not entirely happy with this situation. And she is not very good at hiding such things unless she tries really hard, and she doesn't feel like trying hard right now.
She'll
The resisting
Look
the urge
over,
to eye roll look.
and he sort of Zabrak soldier with her will sort of take Dorian by the arm, well, and with a nod from Nariki, start to lead him off the ship.
Is there what did the clan need him for?
I certainly don't mind answering some of your questions, but as I said, I'd like to do it in a more private situation. I have a few questions of my own. I'd like to debrief you a bit. All of you, if possible.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to know the answer to that question, so I am 100% on board.
Okay.
Delightful. And everyone else would have noticed this as they saw Nariki. She is armed to the fucking teeth and probably has a few extra knives in her boot. It's almost to the point of ridiculous.
It's like you can only wield like 2 of those at a time. Don't...
Yeah. Especially given that she's old. She is an elder. On the younger age for one, but and yeah, as whatever Kevra, the sort of head guard escorts him off the ship. He does seem to be going quietly.
I do have one question, not really pertaining to this. Well, maybe it does. Did you guys ever figure out who might have been off-world or on the same world as us when that incident I reported happened?
Yes, I believe our intelligence department has a few things to talk with you a little further about in relation to that one.
Okay. Because that was very unappreciated. And I would like to know.
I quite understand.
So
we have reason to be upset with that as well.
Okay.
And then she will head off the ship with the clear expectation that you will all follow her, because she's important.
Well, yeah. Praz will follow and let, I guess, Sen and Powder know on the way out that, hey, we're being debriefed.
So, as they walk past, I get up, holster the blaster, put the glass on the arm of the lawn chair, and pull out.
I wait just a second to wait till they're gone so I can check the setting on my blaster, make sure it's on the right setting, and then I go follow.
Which setting is the right setting?
That is a very good question.
For the GM's records, if you could at least whisper to me what setting you put it to, that would be nice.
Okay.
Mine is on lethal.
Oh,
Yours
well,
is
yeah.
almost always on lethal.
Mine is on lethal unless I specifically say otherwise.
All right. So, all of you head out with, basically as soon as you're out of the ship and do the little car beep thing, Reg and Nariki.
I just love that imagery. Huge ship. Beep beep.
It's like it's the Robin Hood Men in Tights Castle Gate lowering bit.
Yep. Beautiful.
Thinking more Rick Sanchez, but you know, that works too.
Got to do the slow ramp.
I do not understand that reference.
Fine. No one ever understands the references. I don't expect.
I get some of them.
Anyways.
Reg and Noriki go back to this kind of squabbling argument that Praz saw them previously having.
I'm following at a respectable range, but I still kind of want to be close enough to maybe eavesdrop.
Okay.
Just because I want to know
anyone
what
who would like
council
to
members...
eavesdrop can make me vigilance checks.
Fuck yes.
I'm an
They're not
So
exactly
good.
being quiet, so difficulty of 1.
Are they speaking basic?
Yes.
Vigilance.
1 success and 3 advantages.
3 successes.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
Hold on.
I have very sharp ears.
I'll flip a point for this.
Okay. 1 success
Only had
and 1
2.
advantage.
Well, now
we
we
have
have 1. Because vigilance is not my strong point. As evidenced. 1
Yeah.
advantage.
Hey, at least it wasn't a failure.
That's my cool.
The dark
Yeah,
side,
my cool is
The
fine.
dark side does not have 41. They have 4.
I mean, I really like the idea of the dark side having 41.
Well, here's the thing about the dark side. If I really wanted to, the dark side has as many as I want.
You're not wrong.
Because I can find really contrived excuses to upgrade things. No, I don't do that. All right. So, Lux, you're getting every third or fourth word, maybe, but I think at this point, you're trying to be a little bit careful not to overdo it. Let's say.
Yeah, no, we want them as off guard and not suspecting us as possible when we start shooting.
And I'm not like going.
Yeah. But
walking and going,
Lux,
"What are they
you're
saying?"
you're hanging back even at the expense of hearing a bit of this. So
Yeah. That's fine.
you're getting a few words. Dorian's name comes up a few times. It doesn't seem like a specifically ominous context.
Okay.
Powder, you're getting only slightly more. It seems that whatever's going on with Dorian, he may have some history with Resh. Resh speaks about him kind of familiarly, but that's really the only information you're getting.
Okay.
Praz, similarly, though you're familiar with these people. They bicker constantly about everything, and that's sort of the perception of them is that they do not like each other very much because one of them is a political schemer and one of them gives no fucks about the politics because she wants to shoot it. Both of which are sort of expressions of individuality and overall valued by the clan to some extent, varyingly. But
as long as you excel in your chosen thing.
yeah. And they're both very good at what they do.
Yeah.
But they tend to rub up against each other much more than other members of the group. Sen, you're hearing quite a bit of this conversation.
I feel like I'm doing the I'm an alien and don't know your customs thing and walking slightly further ahead of Praz. Like, so I'm like, just like being oblivious to whatever's going on,
Yeah.
but still listening.
Yeah. And what you're getting is that this is a conversation they've had many times. They already made the damn decision. They decided to bring him in. Yes, they didn't know where he was. Well, we'll find out soon, won't we? It's unclear exactly what their positions are just because it seems like they're repeating an argument they've had a billion times. If you know family members that you suddenly hear them fight for the first time, but they've had this fight before.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So pieces skip and it's a little confusing, but you get most of what they're saying. And again, it doesn't seem like actively ominous, like, okay, once we get there, we're going to kill all these people.
We now have all the pieces in place to activate our super weapon.
No, they do not seem to be planning a super weapon. This open.
They're the only ones in the galaxy that aren't.
Look, they were pretty good at hiding that in canon, okay? Pretty good. It was done. How would you hide a space-sized moon base? Or a moon-sized space base?
Very, very difficultly.
Yes, exactly.
Apparently between a pair of black holes.
I still think that's dumb, but they did it.
I mean, I would say
I know, right?
say you hide it by controlling the media, the spaceways, and basically everything else, so you can be as obvious as you want and nobody knows.
They
and then one economist notices the shady way that a certain material is being transported, and you have the plot of Rogue One.
Yep.
They did as good a job as they could have. So moving on from Star Wars fanon.
3 hours later, so back to the game.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my fault this time.
Oh, no,
Happens to the best of us.
I was an active and willing participant. I make no apologies.
All right. You all head along. Unless any of you have something you're going to try and do while you're walking there, we'll just cut to when you get in the building.
Yep.
This is technically a different scene. I don't think that matters for any of you at the moment because I don't think you've expended anything, but hey.
While we're walking, I will send a little message to my actual family that I'm on planet and we'll probably be visiting soon. Just have some business to take care of.
Cool. You still haven't sent me any names or details of your family, but thank you.
I know. I know.
Sorry to drop this on you, but here you go.
I know. I'm just sending a message. We might not.
You won't get them till next week. It'll be fine.
We're gonna go say hi. Hi, Praz's mom. Hi, Praz's dad.
No, I'm just letting you know that if we get there before you send me stuff, I have creative authority over what your parents are like.
Go for it.
I am an awful person. So with all of that, we're gonna move. Yeah. So once you arrive inside the building, there will actually you all head into sort of a conference room. Many of the guards do depart essentially when you get to the building or once you get inside. 2 of them remain outside of the conference room, while 2, who you assume are probably specific personal guards to each of the council members, do stay with them in the conference room. They're like little pearls. And Dirt will sit down and gesture for any of you to do the same. There's large circular table with many chairs, but sci-fi.
I will take one of the sci-fi chairs on the right, leaving the one in the center for Praz.
Fine, I'll sit in the center. I ain't afraid.
Powder will stand against the wall.
Lux goes and takes a seat on one of the tables and uses the chair for her feet.
Okay.
And sort of leans back.
All right.
Really making me look good, guys.
Hey, we were given no instruction to make you look
Some
good.
point during this,
I sat in the chair.
at some point during this, Dorian was brought off in a different direction. So, Josh will sit down and Noriki will do the same. Well, it's Praz, correct?
Yep.
And I'm sure you are familiar, but for your off-world friends, acquaintances, subordinates, I I am Vesh. This is Nariki. We both represent the clan in certain respects, and I suppose you could say we are a somewhat official legal entity of sorts. We're both elders of the clan, and then carry a fair amount of authority. But wanted to speak with you directly about apprehending this particular individual and follow up, I suppose. Enrique, anything to add? It's like he's less injured than I was expecting.
He's had some time to heal.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the medical bot did a very, very good job.
Also, he came along fairly willingly.
Yeah.
And your names?
I'm Senstaku.
Does Lex just do the staring thing?
Yes, actually. Lux does not give her name.
Neither does
Sorry, your family is a group of bounty hunters, and you know. I'm just saying.
Powder says nothing.
Both of them will look to you for a few seconds, but Powder, when you say nothing, it seems to basically be like, okay, the droid's not going to speak at this point, that's fine. And they move forward. Dorian is an old acquaintance, one might say, and sure, you've gathered from your own research and perhaps even conversing with him that his specialties are quite needed.
Could you explain those specialties to me at least? Because we really just sort of ran over him in a cave.
That's going to require a deception.
Not technically a lie.
I mean, we
That
didn't
does
run him
not
over,
mean
but-
it is not a deception.
Yes.
That's fine.
That is quite clearly a...
That's fine.
Actually, I will ask you, is that 100% since Taku's memory of the situation?
No. He knows what we know.
He knows
I just
he's
want to
being
know.
selective.
I just want to know what they know.
So you're gonna need to make me a deception check.
Yeah, that's fine. What difficulty?
Difficulty of 2.
I'm gonna spend a light side point.
The sort of standardized successes that you need.
There's our last light side point.
Yep, and I'm spending it on being petty. I learned from Lux.
Lux is very proud at the moment.
3 successes. The upgrade did
All right.
nothing.
With 3
successes.
successes. Oh, I would have assumed that your gathering of information would have led to more, but I appreciate that discretion was exercised to some extent. We can't reveal anything more than you may already know about Dorian's specialty. It's a quite sensitive area.
I have a question.
Indeed,
Theoretically, what happens? How do you go about things if Dorian doesn't want to help? Doesn't want to continue his research for anyone?
Well, that is a very complicated question, and certainly have quite a deep understanding of what's going on. And he goes on this long, patronizing ramble. And I'm sure
How
you're
extreme
very
measures are
careful.
you willing to go? I'm not going to, it's not going to influence anything I do. I just want to know for my own edification.
Lex, make me a deception roll.
That is not
Okay.
deceptive in any way. And trust me, however extreme you're willing to go, I probably know exactly what you'll say with a brief overview. So if you don't want to go into in-depth explanation, that's fine.
We have ways and information that might persuade him to act and to do things he might have otherwise expressed convictions against. As I said, he's an old friend. I know him quite well.
Hostage situation.
And through this entire part,
She turns
notice-
visibly darker red, but doesn't.
Nariki is sort of
Say
smirking
anything.
next to him.
Powder's needle hand just kind of twitches.
Doesn't say anything, doesn't get argumentative or anything like that. She's just very clearly not pleased by the answer.
If you're concerned
Sorry,
about
Praz.
torture or that sort of thing, I can assure you that is not what I'm referring to in this case.
Duress and applying pressure in certain ways can qualify in the same thing. I understand.
I lean back in my sci-fi chair to make the sci-fi hinges squeak slightly.
Sure. Oh, I didn't have a good description.
Just to make the situation a little more awkward.
Yeah.
Powder makes the same noise.
Look over at Powder, lean over to Praz. I think we might need to oil the droid.
So we've started to answer your questions, and I'm sure more will come up. But I'd like to hear about how you found the man.
Told you, we ran over him in a cave.
I wasn't there when he was actually found.
There are many steps before actually apprehending that I'm sure you had to go through. I'm rather skeptical to the notion that you just so happen to wind up on the correct planet at the right time without, especially given that we know you were actively pursuing this when requested.
I look over at Praz.
Yep, I do
Yeah.
too.
This is his story to tell.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna compromise his any more than I
You
already
already
have
have.
in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Powder continues to look at them.
Okay.
So after we got the request for anybody in the area to try to find him, you are aware, at least maybe from what my family has shared, that of what I do for work, I hunt people down and take them to the law enforcement. So first thing to do is go to where they last worked or lived. We went to the last place they worked. That led to another area. We followed coordinates, or that led to coordinates. We followed those coordinates to a location where he was last actually working. And he had apparently faked his death. We figured out that he faked his death, but And then it was honestly just a short jump away to actually finding him. He did not cover his tracks very well. If anybody
I
had
am
actually
mostly
bothered looking.
curious about that first step, if I am to be completely honest with you. We had quite a few people looking into it, and none of them managed to turn up even the variety of names that you were able, variety of individuals associated with the name that you were able to acquire.
I'm
Quite
good.
an impressive skill set.
That part wasn't me. I mean,
Sorry, Luck said something?
I'm good.
yeah.
Mhm.
She's the one that found the information and the coordinates.
Well, it's certainly appreciated.
I half expected you to end that sentence by pointing at Senegal and he's the one that ran him over.
Yeah.
You didn't run him over, you shot him.
That doesn't matter.
I mean, at that point, it almost killed him, so it's same difference. It doesn't matter. But
We all
They-
did things,
they-
okay?
that's honestly all we did. If you had other people, if I'm assuming since you said you had other people on this, they didn't look hard enough, or they didn't have the resources that they needed and that I have access to with the people that I know.
Well, in that case... Noriki, do you have anything further to ask about the situation? She sort of looks appraisingly at each of you. Sen, her gaze lingers on you, not in a way that's like one combatant who recognizes another person who punches people a lot.
I return the gaze. It's the you want to go? You want to go? You want to go? You want to go?
Yeah, take this outside, bro.
Yeah, it's the you want to go, you want to go, you want to go. Oh, right, I'm supposed to be an adult and an elder and like represent my clan diplomatically. Damn it. Look, and you get that impression from her in a way that probably no one else would necessarily pick up on because it's directed at you. Well, in that case, Kevra, you had some information on what Praz was requesting looked into in relation to individuals who seem to have counter. And Kevra, one of those guards I mentioned previously, steps up with her own small little laptop case, where a video familiar to, I believe, all of you at this point plays of a few people breaking into your ship to basically just ransack Praz's room and nothing else, because
Yeah. Just honestly to fuck it up. No, not stealing anything, just fucking everything up.
Are they carrying paint in that video?
it is difficult to make out their features or exactly the equipment they are carrying. One of them seems to have slicing gear. Additionally, they probably have small bags at their side or on their waist. Presumably weapons, though it's possible paint or paint cans are also concealed.
I wasn't on the ship at this point yet, was I?
No, you were. You had we had asked if you would stay behind to watch it with rerun, and you decided not
right.
to. And then rerun
That's
took
right.
off, and then
That's right. I
Yep.
do vaguely remember that now.
Yep, that's
Actually, every single one of you was at some point asked to stay behind with the ship, and you all said, "Nah, I have something to do."
Yep.
This is not.
Yeah.
This was not the droid's fault.
Yeah, no.
So we haven't had any progress on identifying the individuals in the video necessarily. Does seem that they have certain skill sets. Now, additional details are difficult to determine. No one from our clan or clans that we have a close enough alliance with to sort of request this information from were necessarily in the area. And we're still fairly confident, or at least so our information department is fairly confident that the actions you were taking were secure. Your location may have been found somehow, but that you were operating for us should have been confined to a few individuals more privately, those handling queries. Others, none of whom seem to have any communications that would have compromised this information.
Because I only sent the one message saying where we were flying.
So you're saying they weren't there because of you guys, they were there because of Praz.
That is our working theory. It's possible that the information was retrieved somehow from a database of ours, but we haven't found any intrusions or indications of such, though given we know this group has at least one hacker of at least moderate skill level, it's possible. Though I would emphasize again, significantly unlikely, especially from off-world. And they were quite a distance away.
I mean, I would say they probably have better than a moderate skill level.
We've been operating with the assumption that you have standard security protocols. Is that inaccurate?
We have better than standard security protocols. Fairly better.
I will give you the contact information of someone who would probably like to compare notes with you about this person's patterns.
All right.
Unfortunately, there haven't been any similar incidents, no sightings of the same individual graffitiing other people's houses or ships. This doesn't seem to be part of a string of attacks that we have yet identified. Unless you have some connection to the third grader that was caught a few weeks ago in roughly the same area.
The what?
Sorry, the what?
Third grader or equivalent term.
I think
defacing school property.
I think that's a joke.
Oh.
Yes, it was said sarcastically.
It's like I'd like that. Praz and Let's go. What? And it's like
no, that was an out of character. I didn't hear because
no, that was my inability to enunciate when I have to exposit so goddamn much. Why do these people talk? Well, if you have any further questions on that, and she'll hand Lux a specific number. This is contact information for the person who was looking into the possibility of data breaches and comparing them to standard protocols for a ship of your type, though that can obviously be updated. And this is a number for more general investigations who's handling your case, among several others. Are there any particular people or things we should be advised about? Anyone else that might have been aware of your movements at that time? Even from outside of the clan, especially.
No, there's a Brack that I'm aware of.
Dead silence.
Yeah, Sen and
So-
Lux both say nothing.
Powder also says nothing, for the record.
Yeah, I don't know who would have. I don't know who would. I don't know who would have a problem with me.
I remember a gang of, I think it was like
I
12
want all of you who would like to
guys
roll
in a bar.
checks at this point.
Roll what checks?
What checks?
Cool. Which is essentially insight in this game.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty of 2.
How cool are we?
Because this conversation is
I am
ending.
not cool at all, apparently. 1 failure, 1 threat.
I got a success and an advantage.
I mean, do I have to? Because cool is.
You don't have to.
Okay.
It is absolutely up to you. It's just none of you have asked for insight checks this entire time, so I'm giving you the opportunity to do them anyways.
I'll do it
3
anyway.
successes, 1 advantage.
I don't ask because I know I'll fail, so...
I got a
That's
success
fine.
and 2 threats,
That's fine.
which is probably the best.
And
that
that's
could
why I
happen.
said you don't have to. It's just so those of you with 1 success, this is sort of more doldrum conversation. The part before was clearly the stuff the elders were here for, though they're sticking around primarily because of the potential connection between this and what you were sent on. The personal aide seems to primarily be just rattling off what she was given by their information department or whatever to relay to you. Lux, with more successes, for how aggressive Nariki has been, she seems to be listening to this a little more carefully.
Okay.
Almost like she's checking something off on a mental list.
That doesn't make things better.
Not really, not for you. Then Kivra will close up her book.
Alexis thought I'm going to have to
And
kill this person
she'll
later.
also, here's the number for our office in case there's any further details or follow-up specifically related to Dorian acquisition.
Wonderful.
Praz didn't say, do we get paid for this? Sen says.
Lux actually starts laughing.
I'm...
Praz just kind of slowly.
That is
turns
actually
his
an excellent note to transition on. Praz, if I might speak to you a little more privately,
head. We're gonna go murder your friends now. So, do you want a new job?
I mean, why don't you
that
come
does
this
not
way
seem to
and
be
you
the
three, you go
implication, but
outside into this alleyway where there's a wonderful crossfire. We just want to give you your pink slips.
Yeah. We're gonna take your picture. Don't mind the flash.
the waiting area is just outside. You saw it on the way in. It's a standard way. It's a government. You'll see other people coming in and out. It's a government building.
I mean, that doesn't
That
answer
means
my,
nothing.
that doesn't answer my question, but okay.
I'm sure the question. I think that did answer the question. So
Do I fucking look like payroll to you,
Which one was that?
Nariki?
He goes,
the
yeah.
woman who was trying to punch you, or who wanted to punch you earlier.
He says, yeah.
Oh. No.
You
Sen. No. Not right now.
then come on, let's
comedic
go.
smash cut to send Tuzande slams through the wall.
It's okay, I can heal him.
Do
Let's go.
Hudson
Let's go.
or Shooter escort Sen out, or do we let this happen?
I will be pushing Sen out
Okay.
before he
Sen-
makes
Sen-
more problems.
Sin walks out. He doesn't like resist being let out. It's just, she asked a question, he answered it.
That
And the
actually,
entire time he's just looking at her with a grin.
Yeah, the 2 aides and also Rhaegar will follow.
Okay.
Will follow you guys out. Rhaegar.
Yeah, Lux just sort of slides off the table, stands up, gives Nariki just a long stare, and then turns and goes.
Powder will follow
Cracks
Lux.
her
We're
knuckles.
so sorry, Praz.
I think it's funny, but he's
Powder
like,
is
"You guys
sour
are
for nothing."
shitting all over my elders. What the fuck?"
Your elders are dicks.
I mean,
Yeah,
if,
right here.
if she has any concept of Ichani culture at all, that was a compliment. The person that pays you is your commander. It's a more important military rank. I'm betting she doesn't know Ichani culture.
You do
all that
have
much.
enough of a concept of standard general galactic culture, given
Right.
that you were not actually raised Ichani,
I know.
to know exactly what calling someone payroll is.
Yep.
It's a double-edged sword.
Even as you hold yourself in a very practiced Ichani way. Just like she holds herself very Zabrak, but is generally familiar with the rest of the galaxy.
When we get out to the waiting room, do they leave, or is it just us?
Yeah, Rhaegar will give you guys a slight sort of respectful bow and a wave as he heads off in his own direction.
Powder
And
will wave the needle.
Tavra will reiterate that if there's questions you have or things you need, Praz should be able to help, but like any specific questions can be directed towards her office.
Once they leave, I'll just lean over to Lux. That was your present today. And sit down.
Wait a minute, what was my present?
He just smiles.
I don't...
Pissing off the lady you don't like.
Oh, I was doing that just fine on my own. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I added to it.
I don't have a... it's not her. Well, it is, but it... Stalks off.
We're supposed to wait here.
Stalks off as far as possible away.
It's a pretty big waiting room. You can easily find essentially a separate area.
Yes.
I can do sitting down.
Powder will find the spot that is the closest to exactly between the two of them and stand there.
Okay. So transitioning back to Praz. Okay. Well, you've acquired quite a feisty bunch.
That's a word you can use to describe them, yes.
Hey, it was directed at me. I don't give a shit. Might not want to do that to let them do that towards the others, but hey, worst case scenario, I get some exercise. And you get to find a new Ichani.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll love to hear that.
So, on matters that we don't traditionally discuss with outsiders, you're free to be around for the next few days. I can actually offer you a well-paying position to keep your group in the area while we go about some things, just in case we need any further information from you.
Okay.
I would actually like any information on his last place of work that you have. I did notice that was skimmed. But I'm not going to push too hard. More importantly, we're currently, and most of those local to this particular area are aware, entertaining some imperial guests. Now, We have the situation quite in hand, and they will be dealt with. But we're dealing with them a little bit cautiously because apparently executing them in broad daylight was not the idea we decided to go with. I was for the heads on pikes option. So if you can control yours and let them run about the markets and whatever without problem, good on them. Not might be better to have them remain on their ship on your ship until such a time as that has resolved itself or we are done. My assistant will be contacting you within the next day with the job offer, if that's agreeable to you.
Yeah. We're always looking for work, and if it'll help the clan, then I'm
this
here to
one
help.
you will get paid for just because it's a convenient way to keep you around. And, of course, we're not trying to starve you by forcing you to do unpaid work.
So we're entertaining the Empire. What are they here
We're
for?
just a delegate and a few a show of force small segment that came with him. They're around. They don't have any official authority, whatever they may do, but we're trying to handle things delicately and, as I said before, without shoving their heads onto pikes and putting them in the town square.
I could see how that might turn into a problem.
Especially, keep in mind, whatever we might our personal political views are, they are technically our allies at the moment. So just don't.
Allies because they're currently the people you don't fuck with in the galaxy, or
Allies because our historical treaties did not expire when they changed their name. You're old enough to remember that the Empire was not always called the Empire.
Yeah.
Well, unless you need something, get on back to yours.
All right. I will stand up and give a salute, wave thing, whatever, and leave.
Right. Okay.
I'll head to the waiting room.
Your friends are still
there's a
very
moment
much
where
alive and not.
I know.
Lux turns around and is like, "Hey, where did everybody that's not us go?" As like these holes open up in the walls.
It would be poison
and like
if
flames
anything.
shoot out.
No, it would be poison if anything. That's the cleanest thing. Then they don't have to clean up after it. They just have
but
to air out the
poison
room.
doesn't affect
Poison
you.
doesn't affect-
So flame would have to do it.
No, but see, they kill you, and then they can just deactivate me.
I
Yeah, nice ion blast.
Electricity also works. Like, the floor becomes electrified.
Yeah.
You guys are all thinking like you're rerun. Or like their rerun. And that's not the case. If you're keeping an eye out for this, people are coming and going, but there's generally other people around.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Just because they're out to get you doesn't mean you're not paranoid. I play paranoid characters.
I've said that.
So yeah, I'll head to the waiting
Yes, you
room.
have. Many times. To me. What is wrong with my lamp?
Very gravity right now.
long as it
That is
doesn't
not
fall,
the
you're
angle
fine.
of gravity.
Yeah, when Praz comes out, I'll get up and walk over towards him.
Cut to the ship.
Brick! Oh, fuck, what happened?
The fuck? How did we get here? You guys remember the last 20 minutes? No.
That's when the gas hit.
Yeah.
Actually, that's inexplicable rocks from nowhere. Is what you
All of a sudden, we're like,
We were in a waiting
Oh.
room a minute ago. Okay. So, your folks are nice.
I mean, they're the leaders of my clan, and I would recommend that you don't do that again. Or if you do, not to anybody but Nekri.
Oh no, that was just harmful ribbing that I would only do to that particular person because they were eyeing me like I was a piece of meat for half that conversation. So
you phrased that perfectly right. It was harmful ribbing.
yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't do that to anybody but her, and do it lightly. She will kick your ass.
I was mostly nice.
You didn't tell them your name.
You're goddamn right. No offense, Praz, but you're goddamn right. I didn't tell a clan of bounty hunters my name.
You didn't even give them a fake name, though.
You are absolutely correct. Because that they'd look up.
Yes, because not giving the bounty hunters your name is less suspicious than giving them a fake name.
It gives them less to go on.
I mean, we're not all bounty hunters.
No.
A lot of us stay here, and
Is it fair to say that the main income of your clan is made through the capture of fugitives?
Nope.
no, that would not be accurate.
Well, that's how you've sold it to us. So whose fault is that?
No,
Mostly
that's how
yours,
I
Praz.
make most of my income, is the capture of individuals.
So what you're saying, Lux, is that you've judged his entire species based on him.
No.
No, not
I
species.
judge
just
his
my clan.
entire family based on him. There's a difference.
I mean, a lot of us.
Yeah, but as far as I can tell, clan doesn't
Most-
necessarily mean blood related, correct?
Like cousins and distant family member. We are all related, but
There you go.
very, very distantly.
Regardless, that is something that I think I should try to be careful with around people who may at least have a significant minority of bounty hunters who are not you, and I understand, obviously, you're
That
not
is
going
fair.
to turn me in.
Yes.
They
Um,
might.
So, if you guys are up for it,
Mm-hmm.
we may be offered a job in a day or so,
Okay.
paying, because we aren't getting paid for finding him.
Of
course.
I figured.
Yeah. And try to, if you're going to go out, be careful. Well, we're always careful most of the time, like 85-70% of the time.
We are.
Uh,
He says, indicating Lux and himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been informed that there's an Imperial presence in the colony. So,
I pull up my blaster, check
Don't-
again. No, I just pull up my blaster, check again. Yep, okay, I'm good.
no, just don't let anybody. Don't
Does the
tell
mention of
anybody
the
that you know that.
Imperial-
So what you're saying is we should
Strike
be
anything in my brain?
leaving.
If you don't want another
Should
paid job,
not
then yeah.
Leave the
Not the ship, the planet. Lux.
Did Nekri tell me what kind of or what areas they're
We have
they're frequenting?
different opinions on this.
Like,
Not really, though.
Maybe 4 depending on Powder.
She did imply that basically the job was an incentive to keep you here
yeah,
because reasons.
yeah. They still
Probably
need
reasons
us.
related to Dorian.
Yeah.
Like, we have other opportunities, I think, don't we? Wait, let's retrace our steps for a minute. What opportunities do we have right now, other than this?
Do we?
That's why I'm asking.
I'm trying to. I don't think we have any active jobs at the moment, or potential jobs at the moment.
Just everybody's personal projects.
Were we waiting on contact from anybody? Oh no, I do have to. I'm
waiting. I'm waiting on contact for. We're waiting on contact for of our new friends
We should
for
check
Darius.
and then we also have.
But that's
I should probably go tell someone that I'm not going to join their little cult.
Probably not in those words.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? He didn't mince words when he was inside with my fucking elders.
I mean,
we're your subordinates, so you should have kept us in line.
Yeah,
Praz.
no, I did like the sound of that. Not gonna lie.
You said nothing?
That's true. I didn't.
I let them assume.
other than not providing my name and asking some questions about what was going to happen to Dorian, I was perfectly behaved.
Thank you.
And I can't control that everybody can see how pissed I am. So
yeah, I'm sure
I
they
just
didn't
wanted
mind.
to feel what it would be like to be Lux for a day.
wait, what?
But I just had a thought that not everybody is happy. In fact, quite a few people are very unhappy that the Empire is here. But
Right.
seeing as how they still have the same infrastructure as the Republic, just because they changed name, the treaty stands.
Okay.
So our
You're
leadership.
saying I can't go out there and kill them all.
No, we can't. But if you were to let your friends know that there is a small Imperial force in a colony, I could get in touch with Nectri and see if that would solve both problems. It would ease the population, and it would give.
Them
It would get
plausible
rid of the
deniability.
Empire. Yeah.
How about you do that before I send that message?
What's up?
How about you check with Nikiri
Well, yeah.
before I send that message, not after?
Yeah.
I mean,
So I went ahead and alerted a rebel cell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
good
that
news.
cool with that?
I got good news and I got bad news. Good news, I've solved your Imperial problem. Bad news, explosions.
Bad
Evacuate
news
these
number
areas.
2, Empire is probably still pissed at you. So you check, and then if that's cool with your peeps,
Although,
we can look into that.
Wouldn't that sort of break the previous statement of we shouldn't know that information?
No. He does not have to bill his contacts as being through us, first of all. Like this can all be directly from him.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I could ask a hypothetical question.
Yes.
I mean, that sounds good
Because
to
as
me.
far as I know, as far as she explained it, how she explained it to me is they kind of showed up unannounced, didn't they? Not, with no particular reason other than to show up.
Show of force.
And-
She
Diplomat,
didn't give
a
an
little bit.
explicit reason,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean there isn't one or there isn't
Yeah.
at least a
I mean,
whatever the word is for an excuse.
I'm not going to
An
say I'm
excuse?
paranoid. And I'm not saying this in terms of making accusations. But my mind, being who I am and being in the legal position that I am in, takes protestations of not being involved with these individuals aside. Zabrak breaking onto our ship and doing slicing stuff, and then all of a sudden a small imperial force being where we are as reasons to be concerned.
Well, I don't think.
They've been here.
Potentially.
I don't think the people that broke onto the ship were here for us. I think they were here specifically for Praz.
Yes.
That's conceivable.
Now that I think about it, they might have been. I was still taking orders from people that are, for all intents and purposes, entertaining the Empire. So if they weren't happy about that and learned about my location and what I was doing, then
Yeah, like they didn't even so much as touch either of our areas,
Mhm.
so much as to even take something from us.
That
So
we
I
know of.
feel like we weren't the targets. That
I mean, that's fair. That we know of, because they were so blatant. It almost feels too blatant to me, but again, that's my paranoia coming into play. Like, there was so little attempt to hide what they were doing, yet clearly they had the capability of doing
well,
so.
it's hard to hide what you were doing when you're painting traitor in red ink on somebody's wall.
Yes, but you can hide your identity.
Yeah, and they did try
Which
to
they-
hide their identity.
yeah, we don't know who they
were,
are.
They were cloaked and masked. I'm the only one that recognized the horns on their heads.
You
Which-
get
Well,
my point.
So, Zabrak are not the only species with horns. You were the only person to identify that the horn pattern could
Yeah.
not be another species,
Yeah.
given the gate and other things.
But
My point is, if they,
And to be fair, painting the word traitor would be a good distraction.
you swept the ship afterwards and didn't find anything.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying keep aware. I'm not saying it's time to start accusing of stuff. I'm just pointing out.
Sometimes coincidences are just coincidences.
Bullshit.
The Force moves in mysterious ways. It does not, however, move every single atom on to a specific drum beat.
That would depend on which lecture you were listening to during Force School.
Yeah, I'll tell you how much I care about Force School.
I'm not talking about force and destiny and all that bullshit.
Name drop.
What?
You said I'm not talking about Force and Destiny, and I said name drop.
Oh. I'm not talking about force and destiny and all that bullshit. I'm talking about, don't give me that look. I'm talking about
look on his face hasn't changed. It's completely neutral.
I am talking about. We're not dealing with random happenstance that's going on here. We're dealing with active individuals who came onto the ship, etc., etc., etc. That can call it espionage, call it graffiti, call it whatever you want. In those situations, in my moderately extensive experience, there is no such thing as a coincidence. And assuming that things are coincidences is how you die.
And on that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
All right, back in just a couple minutes.
All right.
And we're back.
Woo! So Lux just proclaimed that is how you die.
That is not how I die. How I die is fighting on a battlefield in glory. But regardless of that point,
Right. Sure, that's a thing.
regardless, I do think it would be fine for us to contact, because whether or not the intruders that painted Praz's room were some sort of super secret spy network that were actually after us and smoke screening with the use of painting the phrase traitor across his Praz's room and left such fine and minute bugs that not even your keen eyes could detect them, or ability to scan could detect them, our course of action doesn't change.
You're not wrong. I'm not saying that it's something we need to what's even the phrase? It's not something that we need to necessarily start taking steps for. It's just something that I think we need to keep in mind.
So, Praz, you want to go talk to your fighty elder, and we will go from there.
Okay. The smokescreen thing does make me think if it was just a ploy for them to get attention or point attention at the fact that there's a dissenting faction in the clan, it doesn't normally end well.
I feel like if it was a smokescreen, it would have probably happened a couple of other places too, just to make it seem more like it wasn't a smokescreen.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a little too easy to draw the coincidental conclusion that this is a smokescreen if it was a smokescreen.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Truly dizzying levels of conspiracy here.
I don't know why you think like this, Lux. It's difficult.
It's how you...
It's exhausting.
Uh-huh. You learn to compartmentalize. It's just what you do.
Does anybody else have any other questions that they want asked under the guise of being
From you?
me? Yeah. Appropriate questions.
I mean, exactly what sort of non-torture enhanced interrogation methods they use as a rule, I would love to know, but I realize that might be pushing it just a bit.
Yeah, that's above my station.
Do they care if a half dozen Imperials suddenly lose their heads due to jet engine accidents?
Oh, come on.
That's explicitly what they told you to keep a leash on your friends for.
They won't lose their heads. They'll just never be seen again. Theoretically.
Don't do anything.
Hypothetically.
Because...
Well, I assume that connects into the... Hypothetically, if I had connections with some sort of anti-imperial freedom fighter movement...
I'm not going to hypothetically connect myself with anything. I'm going to say, hypothetically, if the rebels were to attack, what would be your game plan?
Hypothetically, if anti-imperial freedom fighter forces were to attack the imperial diplomat on your planet, would you be required to defend him?
I mean, that's what treaters are for. So they might have to, but...
Would you be required to react quickly?
Yeah, just out of character real quick. Would I have... Is this borderline
details
conspiracy
of the treaty
to treason?
Between your people and the Republic?
Yeah. Like, am I about to suggest possible treason to an elder of my fucking colony?
These treaties have existed
for a while.
Generations and generations. You can roll me a education roll, probably. Like, given that this probably, if anything, would be something you would have been taught in your Difficulty of 3, I'm going to say, because it's possible this is something you remember from school.
Okay.
Given that you were trained on Iridonia for a bit.
Yeah. So then would it be knowledge warfare? Since it pertains to treaties?
Knowledge warfare is a little more tactical most of the time. In this case, this isn't. If you had actively participated in something related to the founding of these treaties or enforcing them, maybe, but right now it would be education.
Damn it.
Politics, not tactics.
Yeah. Failure, 2 failures, and a threat.
I was gonna say, even on a failure, you may learn something. So hey,
Well, good luck. Good thing I got 2 of them then.
yeah,
That's twice as much learning, right?
Exactly.
we're not sure of the details, especially because these are the kinds of things that have existed basically forever, and the exact wording only comes up in tumultuous times, like when one party decides, hey, I want to conquer everything now.
Yeah. Okay.
Would either
Well,
myself or
however-
Lux know?
Your best guess is that it would be acceptable to bring it up. You don't know what the response would be, but typically your clan is pretty okay with the free speech thing.
Awesome. I'm only going to be talking in hypotheticals anyways.
Would just not necessarily with the specific treaties between the between Praz's clan and the Alliance, but would either myself or Lux know what like the sort of standard Alliance treaty agreement was between the Republic and other nations?
Lux might.
I mean,
you
yeah,
never
considering
officially
my
served
job
as a Jedi general, so you would not.
No, but I was educated on Coruscant.
You were educated on Coruscant. However, the Jedi children received more minimal aspects of the political education common to Coruscant.
Okay.
I'll say you can both make me a. Actually, since Taco, you can make me a difficulty 3 education check. Lux, you can make me a difficulty 2 warfare check.
Okay.
You're coming at this from slightly different perspectives.
Yes.
But both of you may have learned about something related to this.
One success.
And
Also,
Powder,
I'm echoing in somebody's.
if you would like, you can also make me a related education check.
No
Essentially the
success
same
and a
check I was
threat.
making.
I'm not sure who I echoed in, but I echoed in somebody.
Yell again.
One success.
Um.
Oh.
So, Sen, from what you know about the basic generic form of treaties, typically don't plan treason and or kill people is a part of them. Don't execute the diplomats is usually included in treaties.
You know, if you can avoid it.
Which
Try not
explains
to-
the behavior.
Which you would know because Jedi are occasionally called upon to do things like meditate or enforce those kinds of
Mediate,
treaties as a sort of. For a while, they were seen as a neutral third party, and then they decided to be generals.
We were supposed to be peacekeepers, and then somebody fucked it up.
That somebody is called the High Lord of the Sith or something. So
Yeah.
you know,
No, yeah, I'm echoing in Aaron.
fuck.
It may be worthwhile noting that the question you're wanting to ask, by the way, is not would they be okay with something. It would be how long would their reaction time be?
And what, if any, obligations do they have to help?
I mean, they're likely obliged to help because not only just because there's a treaty, but also because they're guests. And you are obliged to provide, regardless of your alliances, you're typically obliged to be hospitable and protect and provide protection for your guests. Otherwise, no one would ever want to come and visit, which includes trade and things like that. But we can pretty much guarantee that if somebody were to attack this Imperial force while they are here, there would be a militarized response from your people. The question would be, how quick of a response? And because it is Imperials, could it potentially be, the guards misplaced their charge packs for their rifles and had to go find more before they could come out? Something like that. Not asking them to not respond, but to potentially maybe take a little bit longer than normal.
That would even to adult seem like I was implying, hey. That's not
wink. Not, you don't have to be that direct about it.
Yeah.
That's the gist of the questioning could be. How long would their response be? Not would they respond, because the answer to that is yes. But how long would it take them to?
And Lux, your thoughts are along similar lines. Typically, attacks on diplomats are frowned upon, to say the least.
Right.
Not that you haven't participated in such acts, or are familiar with such acts going on, but,
on paper, diplomats are peaceful.
Without knowing the specific kind of delegate or the situation in more detail, it was probably safer to err on the side of, them capitulating and killing this person is probably not something they're at least legally supposed to do.
It would also be worth acquiring the name of this diplomat, if possible.
I planned on easing into the hypotheticals, asking about the diplomat and not specific numbers, but general numbers, because it's not just the diplomat. There's a contingent of troopers to make a small show force.
Because it may also be that not all Imperial senators are on the same wavelength, as we've discussed previously with Senator Ross.
Right.
So it may be a not quite so kill everybody who isn't us senator.
Yeah.
Well then, you have a conversation to have. And I sit down and drink some water.
Yeah. I'll turn around and start walking back.
Unless you have anything to add, Lux.
Nope. I think you've pretty much got it. No, you've got it. I don't have anything that would probably be particularly constructive to the conversation to add.
Okay. So it is getting late at this point. Praz, do you want to go by tonight, or do you want to wait till morning?
I will ask if it's okay if I will send a message asking if I can have another meeting, or if Nekri wants another one, or wants to set up the meeting for tomorrow. I don't know what her
Nekri's secretary will get back to you that she is available to meet with you tonight. And also send you the address of her private estate. as opposed to the more general government building you met in before.
Cat,
Okay.
they're cousins.
Hey, I said nothing.
And she's
could
way
wield
I
older.
your
should clarify
face.
that in this particular context, clan refers more to village or small
Yeah.
town levels of population.
I said nothing.
10,000 or so people.
I mean, they are the same clan, but it is Clan Targaryen. So,
The funny part, I don't even watch Game of Thrones, and I know that reference.
It wasn't what you said. It was your face and your reaction.
I just want to clarify that for anyone watching.
right.
In this case, while we are using the term clan because it's the canonical term, that refers to 10,000 or so people who are in the same society.
And
It's
just
like
because
drow
I giggle
houses.
means nothing.
It's like drow houses in Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, they all have the same last name, but they are all not blood relatives. Some of them are way lower and captured people. Well, Zabrak aren't captured people, but not everybody's related. It's not the Targaryen.
Brack aren't captured people. Asterisk. There was this one time.
Yeah, there
That's
was a time. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. That said, it is still creepy when people from the same drow house are boning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when it's
You're
just,
not
another
fucking
topic.
phoning.
oh
The
no,
the government just closes at night because it is a government building and those places aren't open late.
Yeah.
Also, she's really fucking old and too
Yeah.
good for
hey,
you.
age is just a number.
And just because I giggle doesn't mean my brain went where your brain went.
Are
No.
you denying that it did?
I am denying that it did.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, Praz, are you actually going to this meeting?
Yes, I will go to the meeting.
Okay.
I was just gonna say that there was a lot of vagary in that statement. I just needed to
I have quite a few Mercer gifts to express my feelings right now.
So yeah, I'm going to the meeting.
Okay. So you arrive at her place and are let in by her own personal guard. And guided up to her office. It's a reasonably small Spartan building. The office itself has several chairs. It's set up for, while all of you continue to make jokes in chat, is set up for is set up to essentially accommodate large or small meetings that she might take in her personal house, either because of time or because just this is her fucking office, you idiot. I am very sorry.
I've used the
John
Skype
has killed
window
me.
to
I
block
apologize.
Chat. I've used the
I
Skype
actually don't have chat open right now.
It's Cat's reaction entirely.
I apologize.
Reaction. All of you have tell.
I'm sorry. My reaction was to what John typed in
Okay.
chat, and it
So
killed me.
we're
I
going to
apologize.
move on just for
Yes.
the audience and also for time's
Yes.
sake. She is still very much armed, but she's wearing slightly less weapons in her own home. However, there's several guns on the walls, most of which are probably bio-locked and also very loaded.
This is pretty nice. Everybody's typing.
So, do you sit down? Do you...
Yeah, I'll sit down. And I'll ask. So, how long has the Imperial force been on the planet?
I'm surprised you didn't ask more questions before. They've been here a little over 2 weeks at this point. And as I said, we have methods of handling the situation that are currently in progress.
Yes. It's just the diplomat and a contingent.
Generally speaking,
are you allowed to tell me what specifically they're here for, or did they just show up unannounced?
They showed up quite formally, announced they're here because blah bitty blah, grain trade, blah bitty blah.
Okay.
We had some people who were members of our clan who were working with their forces on some cargo shipments or something, and the ship went missing. I don't know. It's all quite dull on the surface.
Oh, one of the Imperial ships went missing?
Yes.
Or one of our people's ships went missing trading with the Imperials?
No, an Imperial transport where several of the additional security were from our clan, and other clans were of our people, went missing while transporting food and other basic supplies.
Okay.
Obviously, the reason is a pretense.
Yes.
They're here because they can be.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with that, and we will.
So, if they formally announced their presence here, that they were coming here and that they'd be here for a while, that made quite a bit of our clan uneasy, unhappy, I guess.
People have their personal opinions on current politics. I certainly have mine.
So hypothetically, if one of those people that has particular disdain for the Empire reached out to somebody that held similar views and could do something about that, what is our clan's, I guess?
I'm not starting a war because I'm day drinking a little more than usual over these guys.
Yeah, I figured as much. I know you're not going to, but
I was afraid she purrs herself. Shot from what you notice is a rather empty glass.
a more empty than full bottle of some sort of hard alcohol.
Yes. And a probably at least double-sized shot. Okay, the echoing is not me because I'm also hearing it.
That time, yeah. I don't know who it was echoing, though.
Yeah, I don't know who it.
Hold on.
Try what now?
It wasn't me echoing.
Trying
it was Aaron.
again. It was just for 1 second, so it may not.
Okay.
What would be our clan's response time or obligations even be if somebody in the population reached out to a faction? Like what security measures do we have in place to protect our guests?
sure our guests have their own security measures. Actually, fuck. I want to see if she would check something in her bio. Our guests have their own security measures, and that is their primary mechanism of defense, of course. We, of course, wouldn't want any such incident to occur on our turf.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking hypothetically if a member of the population were to do that, what steps we would take.
Oh, well, we, of course, would put our full assistance behind any such investigation.
Of course. And I'm smiling, not Praz. I can't help it.
And we would be investigating anyone stupid enough as to start fighting on our streets without proper permission or whatever that technically is these days.
Without fair warning.
Doing it wrong.
So
You have interest personally in political affairs. I'm giving you a job anyway. I can pull some strings.
okay. What exactly does the treaty obligate us to do for them?
Currently, on a technical level, no idea. It's not my. I didn't read the thing. I just had.
I'd probably have to ask Rarg for that, wouldn't I?
Yeah, though it might not be a good idea to go spouting to him about how you want to alert other factions.
I don't want to do anything. I'm asking questions. Any security officer would.
Let me put it this way. If you were running security for, let's say, a ball, and someone was like, wow, it sure would be, someone else from the security profession went, wow, would be a shame if someone set a bomb at this ball. What anti-bomb procedures do you have at the moment? You might give them a second glance.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
care.
a very specific thing to ask.
Either way, I don't care. The treaty on a practical level would obligate us to render any reasonable assistance, and should this situation prove something we can't handle, could jeopardize our ability to be the primary investigative force, giving them some sort of official authority within our boundaries, which is why we're not allowed to just stab them.
Yeah.
Because then they'd be allowed to send in their own investigators to have official authority within our borders. Or at least that's what they'd claim.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious because if the clan, if people in the clan are that up in arms about their presence, just their presence being here, then I mean, I figured you guys had already thought of all this, so I just wanted to make sure.
Of course.
I don't want.
Look, and she sort of reaches under her desk, fiddling with a few papers, pulling out some things, scribbling a few notes on other existing pages, and folding it all up in a small folder and handing it to you. This is what I can tell you beyond what I've already said. It's just basic information's a copy of the treaty as it is, the short form treaty that's publicly available. None of this is confidential, but it might not be the best thing to
broadcast.
Chat openly about, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. She looks at that bottle. I've had 2 of those today already. This is the 3rd.
2 bottles or 2 shots?
Bottles.
Jesus.
And she starts pouring
Whatever
her
that
again.
is.
And again, this
Whatever
bottle
that
is more than half empty at this point. It's clearly intended for shots.
Yeah. She's not pouring double shots. She's pouring straight
Glasses.
Drinks. Yeah.
I like this person a little bit more now.
Reasonably small glasses, but yes, she's pouring glasses.
She's pouring it like apple juice. Just, oh yeah, this is good. What is just, you've been going through the bottles since they've been here, or has anything else been going on with the clan that you're allowed to share?
I always drink.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do too. I have 2 bottles left on the ship. But we seemingly have an endless supply. No, I'm just kidding.
You do not have an endless supply. At some point, it's going to start costing you credits, and that point is 3 episodes ago.
Yep.
I spent credits on it.
Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah. It's just, if you've already gone through 2 of those, then I don't know. You said you were drinking more. So is it just because of the Empire, or is some other stuff happening with the clan or with another clan that maybe I should be aware of?
What are you trying to get out of her at this point?
Basically that. If any of the other problems are happening inside the clan, if there's any internal problems or external problems besides the Empire.
Okay, you can roll me a charm roll.
I can technically do that.
3.
Alright, let me go back to chat.
And I'm spending a dark side point.
Okay. To upgrade it?
Yep. And I echoed again. Yep.
Okay. I will use a light side that we just got to upgrade my own. Can I do that?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want to hold on to those points, right?
No, they're silly. We don't.
You can do that.
need
Sometimes John will
them.
make a rage face, but you can do it.
1 failure.
Okay. It's 1 failure. She looks at you. Nothing really. Nothing beyond what you might be expecting already. We always have a lot going on. And I prefer a frontline role.
Yeah.
So give you a little drink root. Well, need anything else? I have a secretary.
Okay.
Shoot you out of her office.
Yep, I will leave
Hey,
and head back to the ship.
head back to the ship. Great. Any of you wanted to do something well, Praz, without doing that?
Yeah. So Lux will depart the lounge.
With a
Say,
drink
I'm going to
in her hand.
She's bringing it along with her. Yes.
Cool.
Go into my room.
Hasn't the intern been in there all day?
Yeah, entertain him for a bit. I need some me time.
I mean, you left him in your room, so I hope he's entertained already.
Finger is thrown. So yeah, I head to my room, open it up. Hey, how you
Hi.
doing?
I'm good. I just
Have you been in here all day?
Mostly
It's fine.
because you asked me to stay out of the way, but
It's totally good.
like not
yeah, no, other
I
than
haven't,
like you're good.
like been
Other
locked in
than
here or
like
something.
other than like locked doors and obviously the cockpit, whether it's locked or not, you can feel free to wander around. In fact, why don't you go hang out with Sen and Powder?
Okay. I can.
I'm sure that I'm sure they can. Hey, go on.
None of the dirty things that you were implying are true.
No.
And yeah, he'll sort of scamper on out.
Okay,
Nothing dirty about being a sexually liberated person.
that is absolutely true.
Very true.
So yeah,
There are some awkward things about doing it in someone else's room without their permission, however.
I feel like he inherently has Lux's permission.
I don't think that's how permission works.
it has not been explicitly expressed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or
That's fair.
And no, not accurate, no. Yeah.
Stop kink shit. No.
You're not king shit.
go on. She
You
shuts
guys make my NPCs weird.
That's the
Not
player.
that weird.
We're not
You
the
guys,
only
by
ones.
that you mean John.
Players make NPCs weird all the time. Trust me, I have plenty of experience with this.
Okay.
So once he's gone, he shuts the doors, locks them. And she is just going to sit down on the bed. She's really frustrated at the moment over this whole thing. And she knows she has some weird force connection. She doesn't quite get what it is. And she's been trying really hard to ignore it. But so she's going to try to just play with it. And so that sounded really bad.
Hey, experimentation is a completely valid thing for Lux to.
Yeah, so like see what happens if she like tries to focus on this whole situation and them being here and the Empire and just her in general and try and see what she can.
Okay.
Anything comes to her.
As I try and look for your force abilities real quick.
Hold on, I'll toss it. They are under combat, oddly, because that's where force powers are.
That's interesting.
Because many of them are rolled in combat. For some.
This is true.
All right. So mechanically, are you trying to use this particular ability or just trying to experiment with your connection?
Essentially,
Yeah.
I'm coming up with a narrative way for her to realize this is what she does.
Cool. So yeah. Spend that
Uh-huh.
and look, as you're sort of messing around and pushing into this, it is oddly familiar because of the way your powers have manifested themselves. They are somewhat connected to the already existing empathic nature of yourself, your ability to connect to others. But instead of there being a specific person or a general environment that you feel this link to, instead you're feeling this odd thing that you have sort of identified as the force, that freaky thing that made all the things float.
Right.
It is that connection, but to the world around you in some way. You're trying to fuck fucking hell? What the hell is going on?
Wasn't making
Is there
that
construction happening at someone's house?
That's interesting. Oh, no,
Is he playing with a cup?
I was playing with a cup, and it wasn't making that much noise, but apparently it made a lot of noise in the mic. That's weird.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it really did.
Please don't do that
hurt.
again. I understand that fidgets are a thing. Please don't do that again.
Or at least mute yourself.
That would also be a reasonable way to go about this. Because currently my mic is feedbacking, so I can't have this. Okay. Lux, despite this odd staticky sound that comes across.
Squeaking, creaking noise.
And you're like, damn it, whatever the hell Rerun is building in there, I'm going to get him later, especially if he broke the ship.
Yes. Wait, no. What is it? Focus, that thing I never do.
No worldly attachments, whatever it's supposed to be. Zero back down into this particular area of your extrasensory self.
Right.
And as you link into it, you see a few things.
Okay.
You see that same government building you were at before, the inside of it. In your mind it's almost as though it occurs to you because you were there before.
Mm-hmm.
And that image warps, and you're in what is probably a marketplace. The architecture is similar. And you see a familiar face across the market. And for a second, you think it might be him, someone you left behind in your past. But no, it's just
Twitch.
It's but as the person speaks and comes somewhat closer to you, you recognize them as someone you have seen before, but not quite the same person. The individual you met in Dantooine in a basement, running a rebellion thing with like secretaries you terrify.
Okay, right.
You see a few troopers. You see a time Sen saying something snarky. It's all odd because it's almost like thinking about the day that's gone by and what might come in the future, but it feels more intuitive than that.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it only feels like it's been a few moments. The comm pings as Praz returns.
Okay. Now, just to clarify, you say he was there with the Empire, or those were two separate things?
So you saw it was odd. It was almost first person, but it might have been your first person. You were in a market and you saw this person speaking, and then in the same flash of vision, at some point you saw what is familiarly a stormtrooper helmet.
Okay.
Connected, maybe you aren't familiar enough with this power
to
get anything more than that.
Got it.
I mean, he was kind of the rebellion, so probably not there with the Empire, but
no, but yeah, I'm assuming like not there like friend with the Empire, although that would also be something that Lux would not consider impossible if he was some undercover person. But like
not
if it
in
was
your
like
vision, just
the
like
stormtroopers like coming after him.
You didn't see them interact.
Got it.
The only things you saw interact were you saw this individual specifically in a marketplace.
Right. Yeah, comes out of it.
Meanwhile, I've been in the lounge teaching the intern how to do 5 fingers. which is you take a knife, and I sort of like, hey, I'm going
Why
to show you a trick.
would you do that?
And I pull out my vibro knife, and
You're gonna need to roll a check because Lux has basically instructed him not to do anything stupid.
And I would like to make sure that he's doing okay,
I'm not teaching.
drug-wise,
I'm just
I
teaching him
guess.
So, yes, in order to persuade him that he should be instructed in this, you're still going to have to make a check. Because Lux having this guy completely brainwashed does not extend to you.
I mean, are you actually having him do it, or are you just
I was
showing
just
him?
teaching him how to do it. Whether or not he does it is on his own initiative.
All right.
So you're just freaking him.
So you're just
I
doing
wanna
that,
see
like, hey, check this out. You want to try?
your finger off.
Yeah, I'm just showing. Hey, here's a cool thing that we do to pass the time. And so teaching him how to do it.
Who's this we, Kimosabi?
You're the one that's been stabbing the table?
You're the one. You're in your room playing with it. I'm teaching him how to be a space pirate adventurer. Okay.
He will uncomfortably watch you, and he's hanging out with you because that's what he was instructed to do. He's failed that check enough times that, like, he's not going to explicitly go against what he was told to do. But he's not, unless you would like to try and explicitly persuade him, he's just like, oh, well, that's very cool. I'm sure you're very good at it.
I'll try to persuade him.
I come out there and my intern is missing a finger.
No, you wouldn't be missing a finger with that. You might have a stab wound, but I'm here. I can heal it.
It's a vibro knife. It will be
Yeah,
a
he's
missing
gonna lose that
finger.
Only if he
I'm sure I can
only
fix it.
if he turns it on, and only if he really, really misses and stabs right down on the bone.
What? Out of curiosity, what do vibro knives roll?
Vibro knives roll. Let me take a look. 4 damage with two advantages for a critical, and they have Pierce 2 and Vicious 2,
Yeah,
and a Serrated Edge.
that would make. I was more curious. What do you roll for?
Oh, to attack with it?
Attacking with them. I think it's melee, correct?
It's
Yeah.
melee.
So he doesn't have any dots in melee.
This'll go great.
So he is once again not doing this.
Good.
I just want to preface that by saying that fancy challenges mean extra challenge. So you would have an intern with a few less fingers. That would be the outcome most likely.
Can I check on his
Because it'd be his luck
health?
to accidentally turn it on and then.
Sure. Roll
ow,
me medicine
ow.
difficulty of 2 as you've
Just-
been observing this individual.
Lux's
some
meditation
regularity.
is interrupted by sudden screaming.
I got a success and a threat.
He seems no more or less healthy than he was before.
Does he
You
still
have
seem
noticed
drugged?
to some extent, you have noticed as he's been on this trip, he seems to be spacing out whatever he is using on himself. And whatever it is, he's probably using small quantities as it lasted quite a while.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm not trying to convince him. I'm just like I'm doing the.
Here, watch this.
Trying to sort of get
You're
him
doing
more
this is
comfortable.
the cool space pirate adventurer thing.
Yeah.
And you're lucky I'm not making you roll because I would make this very hard.
Just trying to make him trying to see what he's interested in. Because
He does not seem to be interested in knife stabbing your hand. He likes science and Lux. It's in his bio.
So what you're saying is boring. All right. So yeah, that's Praz gets back.
Yep.
So what'd you learn?
That They didn't come here unannounced. The preface is that they're here for some sort of grain trade or farming trade or something like that, and
As I'm coming out of my room.
if something were to happen, our clan is obligated to provide any reasonable assistance, our full assistance, in any investigation that takes place. And if we don't, even if we do, they still might send in their own investigation team to figure out how something happened.
Oh.
I don't
Also-
think they're here investigating grain.
No.
No. If something were to happen, they would send their own investigation team
To investigate what happened to their diplomat.
to
not-
Yeah, but
to the diplomat team.
You said at the beginning they were the Empire's here looking into some grain something.
No,
or
they're for trade.
trade. Yeah,
Prefacing for trade. Yeah, no.
yeah. I
That's-
don't think that's the case.
Yeah, no. She said that's what the preface was.
Yeah, they're looking for resistance people.
Or trade. Like,
Or they're flexing.
or
They're
they're just
flexing
flexing their muscles on their allies.
Yeah, they. She said part of the reason they came here seemed like they came here because they can, to show that they're still the ones in charge.
I mean, I have a very strong feeling they're here looking for resistance people.
Oh yeah.
Why do you feel that?
I look at you. It's just a feeling I have.
Sometimes
A
feelings can be-
particular feeling that I have. A very specific feeling.
Sometimes very specific feelings can be misleading and not all the information that they seem to be.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
I am
send-
reasonably certain that there is a resistance person here. One
Mhm.
who knows at least me.
So you would know that at least in Jedi school, what they taught you to be hyper skeptical of anyone precognitive.
Yeah.
It's not terribly polite how they tend to teach it, but
Yeah.
that was the official stance.
The Force can show us a great many things. What it shows is not always accurate, nor is it always static, nor is it always what it seems. Always be cautious when interpreting any sort of feeling you might have.
All right, I'm going to be cautious, and I will be cautious, and I will be cautious about the fact that somebody who can very possibly reliably connect me to certain locations might be here, and the Empire might be looking for them.
Or they might be here eventually after, say, we called them and asked them to come here.
Maybe.
Therefore, if we don't call them and ask them to come here, they might not be here.
Maybe.
Therefore, the Empire wouldn't be looking for them because they wouldn't be here.
Maybe.
Who are you afraid might be here?
Somebody who knows me. Somebody who I've had contact with.
Powder hands Lux a drink.
Oh, thank you.
That doesn't help the interpretations either.
What?
That doesn't help the interpretations either.
What?
He pointed at the glass.
I mean, no, you
Yeah.
pointed
Yeah.
at a generic. You
Sorry.
pointed at your camera.
I figured the phrase that after
Ooh.
someone was handed a drink would be sort of...
Well, yes, but I honestly interpreted that as the fact that it was somebody I knew, because that was said immediately before
that
as well.
Pointing at the drink. That doesn't help with the interpretations either.
I was stone cold sober at the moment. I'm not now.
Do you have a picture of them or anything? Because this is my turf. I could walk around and see if I can spot them.
Description.
Okay.
Also, back to the previous discussion that we were having, it's entirely possible that certain anti-imperial freedom fighters might not even be in the position to do anything about these people right now, but the information that they are here could be valuable. So,
wait, what? Say that again?
Certain anti-imperial freedom fighters might not even be in a position to do anything about the diplomats that are here, and may not want to, quite frankly, because attacking a diplomat on an allied world is not always... Did you just kill yourself?
I had a hiccup while I was swallowing liquid. Shut up.
I just wanted to make sure you were okay, because it was a very distressing sound.
Yeah, the intern did give you guys space when you started talking politics.
Oh, hey, you guys are okay.
He's actually got a decent instinct.
He's fine.
Talking about treason
He's
and
not terrifying him. He'll be fine.
I wasn't terrifying anybody. Anyway. But the fact that they're here may still be reliable information, and actually, we might want to look into actually why they are here, if they're not actually here for trade.
Well, that's...
Espionage is your game, isn't it, Lux?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I should be careful in going around the Empire.
I mean, always. But we're always careful. We try to be.
I just want to set clear, concise boundaries as to what is okay and what is not okay. If I'm going to actually look into this, I want them to be established amongst us all, so when I'm out there and if I have to make a judgment call, I'm not inadvertently stepping on toes.
Sounds fine to me.
If you fire openly on them, my people will look for you. There's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
They warned me about that too.
If you said an explosion, probably the same.
I'm not going to blow anybody up. I'm not going to shoot anybody in the middle of the street. That said, espionage would involve figuring out what I guess technically it's counter-espionage. Because we're being defensive about this. Not
everyone's going to play a knife game. I'm warning you. I will eventually ask you all to make rolls.
I am not playing any knife game. I like my fingers.
And there will be a serious risk of your character losing a finger, because that is how knives work.
That's why we have the medical droid to reattach the finger.
You do.
And but see, the medical droid is playing with the needle and the three fingers on their hand right now, but it's going so slowly it wouldn't bother anything anyway.
I'm prefacing this because I may at some point come back to it.
I will gladly make a roll if you want me to.
Not at the moment. I like to spring these things on people.
So, what I'm saying is, technically, we're working in counter-espionage because we're working defensively. We are not actively trying to fuck over the Empire in their current activities. Here.
Correct.
Elsewhere, yes. Here, no. So, in order to do that, I will need to make contact with people that I am not necessarily familiar with. I might have to make contact with Empire people. That comes with risk. That means that if one of them happens to end up never showing up again, I won't be shooting them in the middle of the street or anything. But those are the things that I'm saying might be necessary. Or drugging, or any number of things. So I need to know what is acceptable to us, the group of us, and what isn't. I don't have any plans on starting a war between the Empire and your clan, obviously.
Yeah.
But would somebody going missing, if it had to come to that?
If we are going to walk this road with the eventual intent of freeing the galaxy of this particular yoke, and we will eventually need to take risks of some kind.
Yes, of course. We absolutely will. I'm saying, is now the time we want to start?
We have a chance to get something.
I mean, I started months, years ago, but
I mean, technically I've been taking risks my whole life. But
yeah, you guys have not been actively taking these steps yet.
I mean, I've been traveling with you two for a while.
That's passive. That's not active.
Yeah.
We did also actively rob a Imperial supply station.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was for a job. That wasn't for. Well, it was for the. Yeah,
I mean, I
still.
kept some mementos. I still have some grenades.
That was theft.
Yeah.
This is treason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, theft is treason too.
Yeah,
when it's a military base.
Any criminal activity against the current ruling power is considered treason.
It's a little more complicated than that, as you would all be kind of aware. Even Powder, you do understand the implications of this conversation quite distinctly.
Okay. But I wasn't there for that, for the theft.
No, but you have all of sort of the basic common sense information about what is sort of publicly available on the Empire to understand what is being discussed.
Okay.
We have a chance to potentially do something worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in favor of doing it.
All right. So first things first.
Well, hang on. Praz?
I'm fine with doing it, but if it were to blow up in our face and somehow trace back, it doesn't just, they won't just be after me. It happened in my clan's city, so they'll go after the colony, possibly even starting a war. Right. I mean, if they'll escalate it, they might even try to go after the entirety of Iridonia. I don't think they would take it that far, but there's literally nothing to stop them from doing that.
I mean, there's already
there's people here that don't like the Empire, but my people aren't going to do anything about it yet. So if it were to blow up, if we were able to get a message to my people before, I could just tell them to, I don't know, disavow me or whatever.
Well,
banish me.
Working with the Rebel Alliance would automatically sort of disavow you anyways, so long as they remain an allied state.
Yeah.
Also, technically there's nothing stopping them from doing that already. They don't honor their treaties. Just look
Yeah.
at just look at
So-
Kashyyyk.
Lux, you would just know this. Well, that's true. They don't honor their treaties. Most of the time, it is much easier for them, and it's considered a lot less effort if they have a premise when they go in, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if it's something fairly minor, if they have an excuse for why we are increasing military forces here or invading this place, that often will make it much easier for them, just because it's easier for the spies and the PR department, and it's a lot less expensive to go to war, just war theory, basically. It's a lot easier to go to war if you pretend you have a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to be their foot in the door.
That's fair.
Right.
to
No,
invade
for
my
real.
people.
That's fair.
So if
And
can-
I 100% understand that.
Well, you have a voice.
I don't.
here,
I
so-
wouldn't want the. I wouldn't want the same for mine. So I get it. So where does that leave us then?
I mean, me and Sen are willing to do
Okay.
or willing for whatever, but we also still have the job. We don't know what this job is.
Yeah.
It could be something that puts us in near the empire, the imperial people. So we'll have chance to keep an eye on them, or I don't know.
So
We'll find out tomorrow.
to get our widest range of options, Lux, reach out to your contacts, see what they want.
Well, my first thing I was going to do was the person that I have contact with. I don't have a line to necessarily. I do have someone I can contact, don't I? Though
Yeah, that person that you saw in your vision is someone that you
I have
terrified
a
their secretary so much
contact.
that he just gave you your phone
That's
number.
good. I do. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can reach out to them, see if they are here or not.
And if they
Without,
are, yeah.
And if they are, find out why.
see what we can do to support.
See what we can do to support. Yeah, exactly.
And at the same time, we'll wait for information on what your people want us to do, Praz.
Yes. Yeah, we don't want to jump into anything tonight.
No.
No, for sure.
We keep our eyes open. Proceed as we can. Proceed as cautiously as we can.
Mhm.
And I think that's our game plan.
and with that,
Powder, watch your finger.
late into the night, as you all start settling on your plans, there's a call on the ship intercom systems. And with that, we're going to end for the night.
We have been Final Show Films. We produce a wide variety of content every day of the week. You can check us out on our website at finalshowfilms.com. You can check us out on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. If you like support us financially, you can do so then there. Thank you to all of our $25 tier supporters. Chris Comfort, Antitonic, and Cat Waterflame. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate all of you, all of our patrons, especially those. We also appreciate the folks watching us on Twitch. Remember, here at twitch.tv/Senstaku, you can follow us, and you can subscribe, and you can throw bits at us in the chat. We appreciate all of that. We are Twitch affiliates, so you can do all of that. And if we get to 500 followers on Twitch, we become Twitch partners. So let folks know if you like our content, come follow us on Twitch. Even if you only watch the VODs on YouTube, come follow us on Twitch anyways, because that helps us. That helps us get closer to that 500 follower mark, which makes us Twitch partners, which means we get a bigger chunk of change with people that do subscribe to us on Twitch. And we appreciate that. Also, we appreciate the folks over at 411mania.com. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about 411mania.com.
So 411 Mania is a site that caters to basically everything you could be interested in within the pop culture world. If you like movies or TV, comic books, video games, wrestling, MMA, music, we cover all of that. We do all the news, all the commentary, cover. If you are looking at 411 Mania right now you could find out who DC is eyeing to lead their Joker origin story movie, which ridiculously troubled, constantly delayed classic, by classic I mean 1990s, film Sony Pictures has resurrected. A preview for the Fear the Walking Dead premiere or mid-season premiere. Rumor killer on the Undertaker possibly returning by the end of 2017. Tonight we will have a column dissecting, just released earlier this year, dissecting Logan. We will have a bunch of stuff, I'm sure, in the Wrestling Zone. I haven't gotten to all of that. Yeah, ton of stuff. It's 411mania.com. Check it out.
All right, we appreciate them. We appreciate all you guys watching. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. And we'll see you all next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Hello.
Goodbye.